Thanks to the support as a channel member, Justin Parsons. Well, after one of the more frustrating transfer windows I've done in my time on YouTube, we're going into the new season with basically the same squad we had this season. We just got rid of all the old men, replaced them with teenagers out of the development centre, and weakened it slightly in a few other places as well. It's going to be cracking. Hello and welcome to Club 3, Part 7 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first two games of the new league season. We're away against... Owie? Owl? Owl? No idea. And at home against Freiburg. If you missed the transfer special yesterday, you missed us signing one new first-team player, Sergio Todiverto, with his fantastic hair. Plus, Matthias Ginter has come in to finish off his career at the heart of our defence. But we have brought a lot of promising young players up into the first team, and there is transfer business currently going on. Our star man, Armindo Sieb, he's been our star man for a number of years. He's out of contract at the end of the season, won't discuss a new one. So we're having to sell him. Cologne and Bayer Leverkusen are both in for him. Frustratingly, this lot have already signed Palaskonis this summer from Posh, which makes me very sad. They've clearly got money to throw around. In fact, talking of money to throw around, this is what we're up against in the Bundesliga this season. Bayern Munich have just spent £150 million on some guy called Erling Haaland. So it'll be fine. £150 million. And it wasn't even their only signing. Talk about inequality financially between the top teams and the rubbish teams. And we're definitely one of the rubbish teams. And it shows. But if Sieb goes, Gonzalez, who was here on loan last year and scored an entire 2 goals in 16 games, will come in as his replacement. And if we've got any money left over, we might be able to add a left back, because at the moment we only have one in the squad, and he's been subject to transfer offers all summer. It's been a frustrating time, but this is the new season. Presumably this team we're playing are the team who've just got promoted and are going straight back down. Fingers crossed. 700-1 to win the league. Very much Bayern Munich focus there, it seems. So we should be able to pick up a win on this first day of the new season and then take things from there. So in goal, we have Hoyenhal. On back four of Beerline, one of the new youngsters, Heinz Faulhaber. I say new youngsters. He was in the first team squad last year. I just wasn't really using him. But then over the summer, I've noticed he's 6'5". Expect me to use him more now. So Faulhaber partners Ginter as part of a new enormous centre-back partnership, and Smoltz at right-back, Garner at the base of the midfield, new boy Todiverto alongside starman Leonardo in midfield, and then Sieb probably playing his final game for the club on the left, with Sion on the right and Hollerbach up front. From the bench, keep an eye out for Waking, Bergmeister, Kazmarek, Volzo, Schultz, Gunders. These are all teenagers or young players through our own academy who are going to be a big part of this coming season. In fact, talking of big, let's just check that we're aiming for the big guy from these corners. Oh, it's going to be lovely. There you go. Get him there. Ginter in behind him. If we're not scoring goals from corners immediately this season, Football Manager is officially broken. But just please let's have a good start to the season, because I'm recording this immediately after finishing recording the transfer special, and I'm frustrated at what I've just gone through. Oh, so I want to feel better by banging some goals past relegation fodder. That will cheer me up no end. So that's what we're looking for from this match. Faulhaber heads it forward to Garner, and now Todiverto, his first touch of the ball in the league with his beautiful hair. Leonardo is through on goal, but his effort goes wide of the post, and that would have been a nice little way to start the game, but 'twas not to be, it seems. Hollerbach, potentially his days are numbered as our starting centre forward. I know Sieb is leaving, so that's one extra attacker out of his way. But with all these youngsters coming through with 5-star potential, Hollerbach needs to really establish himself as a star this season if he's going to stick around as part of this front three, because we might be changing the shape of the front three. At the moment, we've got Hollerbach dropping deep and the two better players pushing beyond him. But if he's not got a better player either side of him, then more focus goes on him to score the goals Sieb was scoring previously. We're going to have to change his roll up a little bit. See how deep he's dropping there. He won't be doing that if Sieb's not here to do what Sieb's done as part of that move and be ready for the ball over the top. So the transfers are potentially going to lead to some significant changes to the way the team lines up. There's the corner. The in-swinger to that far post. Faulhaber was there. He couldn't keep his header down. Presumably just headed it straight out in front of him, but because he's 8 feet tall, it still went over. He needs to master heading the ball downwards. Perhaps he'll do it now. Cyan with the corner again. There is Faulhaber again. And once again, he's headed the ball over the crossbar. We need to get that boy practicing heading in corners, because if this had been launch day FM22, we'd be 2-0 up at this point, because all you needed then was a 6'5" guy on the near post and you were golden. It's slightly more complicated now. Hollaback, though, more nice hold-up play from him, spraying it out to Sieb on the left-hand side, who's come forward. Todoverto is forward from midfield, and on his debut, the man with the magnificent hair puts us 1-0 up, and that's what we're going to miss about Sieb. Felix Gonzalez is going to have to... He's going to have to be as good as he looked in bursts off the bench last season, and show that he can do that kind of thing just as well as Sieb can, because with the midfielders all charging forward the way they do, oh God, Sieb's picked up an injury. This could ruin everything. I mean, I say it could ruin everything. If he picks up a knock now and his move falls through, we just keep him for the year. And then we're probably a better team because of it. He's better than Gonzalez, and you never know, we might qualify for the Champions League and he might decide to stay. It's all a big if. I don't expect this team to be getting into the Champions League, because we certainly haven't strengthened it. And we've got rid of a lot of players who are just past their prime and brought in a lot of youngsters who are completely untried. So we haven't really got much in between those two extremes at the moment. Leonardo, Sieb's picked up the ball eventually. Sieb's got it again here. Is he going to score a final goal for the club? He's not. Hollaback with the effort from range. I think I'm taking Sieb off at half-time. We'll look at Gunduz, the new winger, the new youngster through the academy. We'll have Turkish wingers on either side then. Cyan with the corner, and once again, Faulhaber can't keep his header down. And I think that is that for the Schalke career of, I think it's Armindo Sieb. Gunduz is going to come on. He is either footed. See, this is what I mean. If we're going to play him a little bit deeper, then I think Hollaback probably needs to change the role that he's doing. Maybe even just put him on attack. I guess now's the time to try it out. Let's see how he looks with a little bit more focus on him attacking-wise, because Yusuf Gunduz is on his debut. We have no idea what he's going to be on that left-hand side. He's only got 5 finishing, so he's certainly not going to score as many goals as Sieb got, although he is 6'1" and quick. So physically, he's going to be an absolute nuisance on that left-hand side. And here he is now, skipping past his fullback, charging forward. Cross comes in for Cyan, whose header is just a goalkeeper. I don't even know what he's doing with it. Don't know what got more confused there. The owie defence or my attempt at commentary, but Gunduz is at it again. Cross comes in, and there is Hollaback. And I mentioned Yusuf Gunduz was going to be a nuisance, and you've seen it twice already there. And Hollaback, on his new, slightly more attacking instruction, doing exactly what we asked of him and grabbing a goal. But this guy, his pace and strength and power, I think he is going to cause problems this season. And I love having players who are going to cause problems for oppositions. Cyan's come all the way over to this side, lays it off to Leonardo. I mean, that one must have been worked straight off the training ground. That was beautiful. There was no other reason for Cyan to be all the way over there on the left-hand side of the pitch. And he's just played it into Leonardo, who's become an extra man because Cyan is there. And Leonardo just lets it run beyond him, and then first time hits it and curls it into the far corner. Very well worked. Beautiful stuff. And it's now 3-0. And I mean, we deserve it. If you look at the match stats, we absolutely deserve to be 3-0 up. And this lot, unfortunately, I don't think they are going to get many points this season in the Bundesliga. They've got a lot of... They stink of last season's Peterborough at the moment. Leonardo's got forward again, and he's hit the post, and Cyan, with basically an open goal to aim at, has somehow managed to hit it both high and wide. We've got a free kick now from basically a corner position, of Faulhaber really, really trying to get himself on the score sheet today. He's not managed to keep his header down once again, and now we are going to take off Cyan and bring on Volzo on this right-hand side. Interesting that Kazmarek, the new right back from the development centre, is able to play on the right wing as well. So similar to Beerline on the left-hand side, very, very attacking fullback who can do a job further forward. Although Beerline, don't expect him to play on the left wing much this season because we don't have any other left backs. So he is going to have to play every minute of every game at left back unless we have a little bit of money left over from the transfers that are coming up and we're able to bring in another left back. I feel like I've still got one more substitution to make. I have. Faulhaber can get a little bit of a rest, and we'll have a look at the youngster, another youngster, Marius Biada, only 6'2", so not quite as exciting, but all the same, let's have a little look at him. This is the theme of this year now. It's like doing the homegrown save from last year again. We're just bringing all the youngsters through, not because it's some kind of philosophical decision, because we've got no money. We're £500 million in debt. The financial situation is having more of an impact than I thought it would. And it's all we can really do. We can't go out and buy loads of players because the board aren't letting us have the money to do it. I guess it's for the best if we end up becoming a youth development hotbed, but we do have to start trying to keep hold of them. Obviously, with Sieb leaving, Beerline potentially going to be leaving at some point as well. Leonardo and Hoyenhal, both with release clauses. It's all well and good developing players, but we've got to start keeping hold of them and moving forward as a club. That's a lovely ball in for Leonardo, who's gone forward again. He's in behind, and Volzo is there, and he's grabbed his first goal of the season as well to make it 4. I know we've been against 10 men for a lot of this game, but we have played very, very well in Volzo. Good to see him back on the score sheets. If you remember, he was one of the players who, in my very first game managing the club, we played him as the attacking midfielder, and he was excellent. And he's the one who's kind of missed out because of the tactical change we felt forced into. Now the transfers we've done to match up with that tactical change, and there's not really a spot for him in the team anymore. But he's going to get the opportunities on that right-hand side, and as the Mazzala this season, and he's taken an opportunity there today. 4-0 on the first day of the season. We'll take that. Now let's have these transfers go through, so we're not waiting until deadline day. Because I need to see if we're going to have any more spare money that we can maybe go and bring in, ideally a left back, but knowing me, probably a striker. Probably. I know it's likely to happen. There's no point pretending it's not going to happen. Probably another striker. Well, there is your confirmation that Sieb has gone to Bayer Leverkusen. Nothing we could do about it. He wasn't going to renew his contract. It was either sell him now or let him go for free in the summer. So we have sold him. Garner is going to be grumpy about it. What's he saying? Doesn't like the fact Sieb's been let go. Well, don't worry. We've got your other buddies coming back in. There you go. He's dropped that concern. Can we now ask for confirmation on this deal? We can. So let's get Gonzalez in. That's Gonzalez confirmed as the replacement for Sieb. And there he is. I mean, it's basically, from our perspective, almost a straight swap. We've brought in a striker who we're going to use on the left wing because of the system we're playing to replace the one that's just gone. We can do a comparison between the two of them so you can see exactly what we're trading for here. But really, Gonzalez is better in the air. He's not quite as good at some of these other areas, but he's younger and he's got the added bonus of he was at Real Madrid. That means he's fancy, and I like him because he's fancy. Plus, he's my boy. I think that's pretty decent business. Yes, we could have got him on a free transfer if we'd have offered him a little bit more money before he renewed with Real Madrid. And I think at the time I said, what were Real Madrid thinking? They were probably thinking, let's get £6 million for him. And they have. So they've had the last laugh on me there. But I think we've lost a key player and immediately replaced him. And that's got to be a good thing. It leaves us with £2.3 million, which I don't know if that's going to be enough to go and get another left back, even if we can find one on loan. But that's going to be my job now. Between now and the transfer window closing, we need a left back because Beerline cannot be expected to play every minute of every game. There you go. We're already filtered for left backs. We kind of need this guy who we were looking at yesterday to decide he does quite fancy a move to Europe after all. We'll put another offer in for him and see what happens. Oh, major reservation. So he is actually going to discuss terms. Right. This could be big. What? I feel you're not close enough to my client's demands. He's not demanding anything. What just happened? I don't understand. And we can't get Acella, who we had at Peterborough, because he's gone to Fulham. One of many players. I don't want to click on Fulham. I wanted to click on Peterborough to show you just how much this team's been disassembled. All these relegation release clauses. Acella and Palaskonis have both left. So actually, that's still a very strong Peterborough team. They're going to come straight back up as champions. Santiago and Walsh in midfield. Gallagher's still there. We know how good Brewster is in the championship. Ballard and Kitching still together. Ocampos will be a fantastic keeper at this level. They'll be fine. And because people will ask, we'll check on Leamington as well, who are still in League Two. And have they still got Theodros there? That's what we're really looking for, especially people who are watching the Leamington streams at the moment. Watching me try and figure out how to get a performance out of this guy, which apparently the AI can just use brilliantly. So frustrating. A third season in the Football League for Leamington. Properly established now. Right. Next match and left back. We have identified our left back that we want. Michael Friis, an 18-year-old Danish left back who can also play as a holding midfielder or on the left-hand side of midfield. Another nice, big, 6-foot physical player. And most importantly of all, he's actually considered better than Beerline. So we could come out of this looking really rather splendid. He's been playing regularly in the Danish Superliga for the last 4 years, despite only being 18 years old, which is interesting. Very interesting. So we'd very much like to bring him in. So hopefully that deal can complete. Or it'll have to complete before the transfer deadline. Hopefully no one else comes in and steals him from us. And that will then be all of our pennies gone, I think, once he's in. And actually, if we get him, I think that ends up looking like a pretty useful summer. We've got rid of the players we wanted to get rid of, replaced key positions, and brought in some youngsters from our own academy. I think that's looking pretty good at that point. We then have to find out whether the youngsters are good enough. We'll get a clue in this game against Freiburg. We're obviously having to make a change with Gonzalez coming in for Sieb on the left-hand side. We've also got Bono fit again to come back into the team. So he's going to come in alongside Ginter. Other than that, it is the same team. You can see that this is the squad. Everyone in the squad who is fit is in the match day squad. We are still operating on not very many players, although there are still a handful of 5-star potential youngsters in the B team and in the under-19s as well. So if we absolutely have to, we can draft some 16 and 17-year-olds into the first team squad. I'd like to avoid it if possible, because we've already got a lot of very young players, and that was that Ginter who's made that mistake there, or was it Hoyenhal, who actually was the one with the kick? Hoyenhal played it out to Ginter. If that's Ginter who's given the ball away, he should know better. To be fair, both of them should. Hoyenhal's one of our best players as well, and Ginter's obviously loaded with experience, but it's left us under pressure here that's ultimately led to the goal. We won't see the incident on the replay because so much has gone on since then. It took them a long time to actually work the chance from being given the ball. But, yeah, not really impressed with what I've just seen there. That is an alarming indication of naivety and inexperience in our ranks, even though it was potentially our most experienced player who did it in the shape of Ginter. I mean, Ginter's basically everyone's dad now. He's old enough to be dad to half the first team, which is it's brilliant. It's a fantastic situation to be in. Right, they are all over us here. Oh God. Oh no. Have we gone too extreme? Have we done what we did last summer at Peterborough all over again? I don't think I have, because I've not gone crazy. The old men we got rid of were fringe players. We couldn't do anything about Kadira because he retired. Everyone else wasn't in the team anyway. If you look at the 11, Ginter's in for the Italian fella who wasn't any good, who we've sent out on loan. So that's an upgrade. Todoverto for Kadira's got to be an upgrade. Ginter brings the experience that we lost with Kadira. Obviously, Sieb going isn't ideal, but Gonzalez, we've just looked, is very similar. maybe we're just having a bad day. We're knocking the ball around nicely. Leonardo, ball over the top for Cyan. This is good football. This is more like it from us. And Cyan was in there and managed to get his shot away, but wasn't able to find the target. But Leonardo with a follow-up. Hollaback was in first, then Leonardo. Two good opportunities. If we can grab a goal back, then maybe there's life in this yet. Because as you've just seen there, when we get our flow going forward, we are a very, very good attacking team. And it looked very good going forward there. But unfortunately, weren't able to grab a goal from it. And now we are on the back foot again against, I want to say, Freiburg. It could be Frankfurt. It's probably someone with an F in their name. I wish this was easier for me to understand as an English person. It's really not. And I can't just memorize who we're playing before the match starts. Some team that begins with F. Who are we playing? How do we find out? We can click on this, can't we? They're going to score another goal because I don't know who they are. I'm showing them so little respect, they'll just score against us for fun. I mean, it is Freiburg, and we're 3-0 down now, although we are going to VAR for this one. And the goal's been disallowed. A little ray of hope, maybe, for us, that we might be able to find a route back into this game. We need it. I mean, match stats and XG and everything wise, there's not really much to separate the two teams. What we've seen there is one team who've been clinical and another team who've been wasteful in front of goal and just gifted a goal to the opposition as well. So we've been sloppy and naive at both ends of the pitch. Hollaback's having a terrible time of things today. And Bayern Munich have put 7 past Owie to show just how bad they were, to just really hammer home that beating them wasn't anything impressive in the last match. Leonardo playing it back to Beerline. And now Leonardo again. Can we have a cross from Beerline this time? Oh, he goes past his man beautifully. Cyan is there, looking for the header, actually ends up peeling off his man and playing the ball off to Smoltz. Smoltz to Todiverto, who's drifted out into the wide areas looking for a cross. Plays it back to Garner, and now Cyan. Smoltz again, plays it into the path of Hollaback, who's in, and again is wasteful. Oh, he's had a bad game today. Oh, dearie me. And we picked up an injury to Beerline. Oh, God. We really need that kid to come in because that's it. I mean, we don't have one. I think Smoltz can sort of play there. So he's going to go over to left back. And then we'll bring on Kazmarak, the young right back, can come on and play there. That is not ideal, though. And Hollaback has been awful. So Bergmeister's going to come on for him. He's a natural false 9, which might even fit into this system with these two even better than we get with Hollaback. We probably should have gone attacking much earlier than this. You lot distracted me. I blame you. Let's demand more as well. I mean, if Beerline's properly injured and we don't get Fries, then we've got a problem with only 6 days of transfer window left. Oh, should we go get another job? I can't get another job. I spent all this money on Schalke merch. I've got to be here for at least 3 seasons to get my money's worth for all this. I haven't worn my gilet for days. I can't leave yet. Yeah, we've not been very good today. We're going to grab a consolation goal here to make it look better than it was. Ginter, who I'm still a little bit cross with, even if it wasn't his fault. Todiverto, playing a little bit more attacking after the substitutions, plays it back to Smoltz, who out of position gives the ball away. And Garner's done well to come back and cover there. Now Smoltz to Todiverto, trying to play Bergmeister in, but he couldn't get away from his man, and it goes all the way back to Hoyenhal. And I think it's pretty clear from this episode, I think we're probably a mid-table selling team, and we're going to be potentially for a couple of years until we move into our new enormous ground and hopefully get some financial benefit from doing it. What we need is a good run of form 1 year to sneak into the Champions League and use that money to not have to sell a player that year. Because I'm looking at this team now thinking, I don't know that we're building for a Champions League run or if we're building up 4 or 5 players to be sold on for big money. I'm looking at it now thinking Leonardo and the goalkeeper. There you go. Beerline's out for a month. We need that Danish kid in. I'm just going to hit continue to see if he turns up. on Sunday saying, problem solved. I'm here now, and I'm going to have to play every game for my first month, even though I'm only 18. It'll be fine. He walks in the door saying it'll be fine. We've got a problem. Oh, we need some players. We really... Oh, there he is. Look. It'll be fine. He's here. Let's hope he's as good as he was scouted. That's what we really need to find out. That's why we're holding on at the end of this episode. Oh, he is as good as his scouting report suggested he was. Oh, we've got an absolute superstar bargain there. Beerline's never coming back in the team. It's his own fault for getting injured. Well, that's made me feel a little better. It doesn't improve what we've just seen, I don't think. I don't think we beat Freiburg with Fries in the team rather than Beerline. And we have pretty much spent everything we had now. So I'm not anticipating bringing in anybody else. But if I could, I'd bring in a striker after what I've just seen from Hollaback. Everything's different now. We don't have Sieb up front. Shall we find a deadline day bargain striker? You'll find out tomorrow. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.